So yesterday we heard about this beautiful story of Nachiketa, a young boy in his pre-teens who's so observant, so full of Shraddha, that he is not afraid of questioning his own father who is performing a yajna all wrong. That is why Taittiriya Upanishad says, Shraddhaya deyam, Ashraddhaya adeyam, Shriya deyam, Hriya deyam, Bhiya deyam, Samvida deyam. How to give, even that is there in Shiksha Valli of Shishyanuशासनम. There it tells how to give dana, Shraddhaya deyam. Give with sincerity. Why? Because that dana will help you develop a little more dispassion, detachment. When you give something away, to that extent your attachments have reduced. Suppose somebody is begging, you give 10 rupees out of your purse. It means 10 rupees worth of your attachments have reduced that day. To that extent, you are progressing spiritually. So that benefits you first, then it benefits the other person. Therefore, give with sincerity. If you don't feel with anger, with frustration, don't give at all. Better not to give than to give and go to hell. So better not give. Then it says, Shriya Deyam, give in abundance. Give as much as you can. You have so much, but you don't want to give anything. Give a little and then you feel very happy. That is not the right way to give. Bhiya Deyam, give with the fear that you are not giving enough. Whatever you have served the hungry person, the food may not be to his liking, or the food may not be sufficient for his hunger. With that fear that we are giving less than what we should have been giving, that fear you should give. Hriya Deyam, give with humility that I have got an opportunity to give. It's an opportunity to share. It's a boon, it's a blessing. In this way one should give. And Samvida Deyam, give with the knowledge of whom you are giving, why you are giving. Samvida Deyam, give with the knowledge of why you are giving. Otherwise, you will become a part of the sin committed by the receiver. Therefore, give carefully. This is an ideal which has already been presented in our scriptures in Taittiriya Upanishad, Shikshavalli, Shishyanuशासनम. Guru tells the Shishya, when you take up now the role of a householder, after your Brahmacharya ashram gets over, you are graduating from Gurukula, learn about some basic rules of life, how to behave in society. In that context, about charity, which was very important, the three things everybody was supposed to do in the past and even today. 1, to perform sacrifices, yajnas. 2, study of scriptures, swadhyaya. 3, charity or dana. This was to be done by everyone. And that is how Vajasravas was doing. Yajna he did, he has studied the scriptures. Now he had to do charity also. But what kind of charity was he doing? Very, very mean-minded charity. He knew the cows are old, he knew the cows are useless, they won't be of any good to the people who receive these cows. Yet he was giving. So he was not doing according to the scriptural injunctions, though he is a Pandita, or he may think he is a Pandita, but he was not doing so. Therefore, Nachiketa, Shraddha Avivesha, became very overcome by this idea that why my father is doing this way. He has taught me, perhaps he has learned Shishyanuशासनम from his own father, Shikshavalli from his father, and he says that what he is doing is not appropriate. So he questions the father. This is very important, to stand up for what you believe in. Have a spine. That is when change happens in the society. And therefore, Nachiketa is an example for our students too. When they see things are wrong in the hostel or at home or in the society, they must also stand up to it and then find ways to change that or to improve that. And this is an ideal for everybody in the society. So with that idea, yajnas were being done in the past. It was a very important part of any grihasthas, the one especially Brahman grihasthas, who were in charge of all the scriptures and the knowledge, and they were also responsible for carrying out the traditions of the yajnas. Somebody had to carry on with this part too. While the business people did their business, the kings ruled the country, and the Kshudras, what is the labor class, gave physical contributions to the societal welfare. Brahmins, who were the intellectual class, they were supposed to uphold the traditions, customs of our culture. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam. All the four varnas have been created by me only. How? Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. He is not created based on Janma Karma. Guna Karma, whatever their gunas are, as their inner makeup is, as their mindset is, as their disposition is, that is guna. Some children are born very soft and silent. They don't fight, they don't talk. If anybody hurts them also, they withdraw. Some other children are there. They can't sit quiet. They have to go and fight. Some children are very, very clever and they know how to get things out of you and everybody else. Whereas some children just don't know how to speak. Some children are very hardworking. Some children are very lazy. Some children always want to play. Some children always want to study. So there is a variety of children. Who taught all these things to them within the 7, 8, 10 years of their lives? Nobody taught them. They brought it from their previous births. Because Sanatana Dharma firmly believes that we have reincarnations. We come back again and again into this world in different bodies to different parents. As we continue to study Upanishads, this idea of reincarnation, karma, karana, karya, all these will become very, very obvious to us. We will take it up as and when it comes. For now, this is enough to understand that everybody in the past desired for some higher things, and the only way to achieve those higher things was by grace of God, which was invoked through yajnas. Here also during Navaratri we take up many yajnas and homas with certain purposes. Some yajna is for Dhanvantri, homa is there for good health of everyone. Or there are homas to other gods. We do for rains, we do for good crops, we do for overall prosperity, Lakshmi, Kubera Homa, and the likes. Why do we do? When we started this tradition of homas every month, every first Thursday, we're encouraging children to do some homas and yajnas. Because all these lead to certain results. The results are according to the nature of the yajna. And that is what our ancients knew. And some yajnas are those who are not just for our physical existence, for rain, crop, cattle, good health, wealth, progeny, but they are for those things that we want to have after we die. There is a concept of heaven and hell in our culture. It is there in all religions. In fact, all the religions thrive only on this concept of heaven and hell. If there was no heaven and hell, there won't be a religion. Religion promises us heaven and helps us get away from hell. That is the whole basic core philosophy of every religion. Trividam narkasya idam dwaram manta. Krishna. Kama, Krodha, Tata Lobha. Kama, Krodha and Lobha are the three doors to hell, it is said. Tasmat etat trayam trajet. Therefore give up all the three. How many doors are there for heaven? Because you told hell has 3 doors. I said heaven has only one door. Do good, be good, see good. This is the way to God. Why there are not many doors for heaven, he said. I told because there is no traffic in heaven. Only traffic is at hell. So 3 traffic gates are required. Vajisrava wanted to go to heaven. So he was doing all kinds of things like this. Do you think he would have gone to heaven by doing all this? I don't think so. And now in our culture, heaven is 7 heavens are there. And 7 hells are also there. First class, second class, third class, fourth class, 7-star on the heaven. First star hotel, 2-star, 3-star, 7-star hotels are there. Down also 7 class of Narka are there. So we are on Bhuloka, which is the earth. Mrityuloka it's called because everybody who is born here dies after some time. So Bhu, Bhuah, Swaha, Maha, Janah, Tapah, Satyam. And the 7 lokas are above. And below us are Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. These are the 7 down up and down, there are these many lokas. So according to our karma yatha shrutam, as we do our deeds, as we learn and understand our things in our life, we are allotted one of these star facilities above or the class facilities below, the third class, fourth class, fifth class, like this. So that is how it is. And Yama is in charge of all these things. And Chitragupta is his auditor accountant. He keeps an account of everybody. So one day somebody asked me, how many accountants, auditors are there to maintain this many records? Every thought, word and deed record has to be maintained. Then according to that record, they have to be allotted punya, papa, points, merits or demerits. And then they have to be allotted as a collection of the entire consolidated balance sheet at the end of our life. Will decide which loka we are going to land up in. How do they maintain all these things? He said. Do they know all these things by keeping individual records with, like we maintain our books of accounts, or is there other system? I told they have a artificial intelligence system. In every heart, the same divinity resides. This divinity reports to them. This person is doing this person is doing that. They don't have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. That intelligence keeps a track of everyone's everything. It's super intelligent. No supercomputer, super duper computer, nothing can come in equal to its intelligence. That is cosmic intelligence. That Vijnana keeps all the record of every person born and dying, and every thought, word, and deed is getting recorded somewhere. So don't ever you think that you can go and do something and nobody will know. Yama will know. And Chitragupta will immediately make an entry. It's an automated system. Better than all other automation systems. So automatically records go there and get recorded, and punya papa gets decided. And once you come to the end of your life, the present life, at that time of death, Yama asks for what is the record, how is it? He says, oh, this is the record. Let us take him. And that is how you are allotted one hell or a heaven, according to your deeds in this birth. So what do you do in heaven? In heaven you enjoy, it seems. You have many facilities. There is no dukkha, only sukha is there in heaven. And once you finish enjoying everything, you come back again to Mrityu Loka. And in hell what happens? You go there and you suffer. And after suffering, whatever you had to suffer, the punishment gets over, again you come back to earth. That is how this process of birth and death goes on and on and on. And therefore every one of us has taken many, many births. Bahuni me vyatitani, janmani tavacharjuna, tanyaham veda sarvani, natvam veda parantapa. Krishna tells Arjuna, many, many births we have lived. This is not the first time. All of them I know. You don't know, you have forgotten. Therefore you don't know, but I know all of them. Therefore I keep guiding you according to your karma, according to your janma. Do this, don't do this. So that you are able to continue to progress and not stop where you are or not go down from where you are. From 6th class, nobody wants a demotion to 5th class. Everybody wants progression to the 7th class. Likewise, when you are born again on earth, you have to learn how to progress further towards God and not digress towards animal nature. That is the whole effort of a human life. So in a nutshell, all that we do ultimately decides how we live in our future on this earth and beyond, either above or below. And once our karmas are exhausted, we are come back again to the same place, to this Mrityu Loka, punaha punaha. That is why Shankaracharya, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Again and again we are born, again we die, and again we reach the womb of another mother. So before I jump in, I want to tell you a story of Bhagavatam, because why it's so important for these Vajashravas to go to heaven. In Bhagavatam, it seems, there was a king. And this king had 100 wives. And all of them were very beautiful, very talented, but they did not have children. You know how a king is. He wanted a child to continue the kingdom after him. Without a son, he cannot do that. That was the rule. Otherwise, the praja will revolt. So therefore, he prayed to his guru, give me one child, male child, so that I can continue. Like everybody comes here also. Atti, Artha, Artha, Jignasu, Jnani, Chaturvida Bhajante, Mam, Krishna says. 4 kinds of people worship me. Those who want solutions to their problems, financial problem, legal problem, family problem, health problem. Then those are those Artharthis who come to ask for money, more business, better qualifications, better position in the society. Then Jignyas who come to find out what is going on, what is life, what is death, what is birth, what is punya, papa, all these things. And then there are Gyanis who come only to enjoy the divinity of God. So we go to heaven and hell and come back to this earth in another mother's body, in another father's lap, and then we continue to live and we do more activities. They have more results. At the end of our lives, Yama comes again and decides based on our karma balance sheet, and then accordingly allots us a star facility in the heavens or the bad facilities in the hell. That is how it goes. Now, don't ask me where is this heaven, hell, how to go. That all we will discuss as we go forward as to what is this concept of hell and heaven in our scripture. This is enough to know if you do bad, you have to suffer. If you do good, you will enjoy. But both of them you have to undergo. You can't say, if I do good and also do bad, both will cancel each other. No, no, no. What you wrote in physics, you will get marks for that in physics. What you wrote in chemistry, you will get marks for that in chemistry. Physics marks cannot be exchanged for chemistry marks. Everything, if you do good, you have to experience sukha. Plus, you have to experience as plus, minus, you have to experience as minus. So, both of them you have to experience. We are happy some days because of other prabhava of previous births and this birth. Some days we are sad because we have done such things that bring sadness to us. So, both we have to experience. There is no escape. Understand this principle that karma and karma prabhava leads to janma marana. So this one principle of Sanatana Dharma, Hindu Dharma, you should get inside your mind. So now this Vajasrava knows that I am going to die one day and then I want to go to heaven, that to 7-star heaven, Satyaloka. I don't want to go to lower 1-star, 2-star facility. I want to go to 7-star heaven. So for that he is doing this yajna. And then it is like buying the airplane ticket with fake notes. Can you get a ticket? Can you book a hotel with fake currency? No. So, but he is doing exactly that. That is why Nachiketa told, what are you doing, father? Don't do this. And he went to now Yamaloka. At Yamaloka, he waited for 3 days, 3 nights, and Yama received him with great honor. He said, you're a young boy, you have come all the way, you waited for 3 days, 3 nights. Therefore, I'm here to grant you 3 boons. And then, first Vara he said, when I go back to my father should be happy with me. Very clever. So, 2 boons in 1 boon. One, now I will go back to my father, that is for sure. I am not going to be here. I am not going to be dead forever. I will go back. My father should be happy, should receive me with happiness, should recognize me that I am not a ghost. I am real. That is why you please bless. Yama says, done, given, your father will be happy. He will recognize you and he will be very happy. Shanta sankalpaha sumana yatha syad vita manyur gautamo ma abhimrutyo tat prasrishtam ma bhivadet pratitha etat trayanam prathamam varam vrune. So understand, Shanta Sankalpa Sumana Yatha Syat. As my father was, Shanta Sankalpa, very peaceful he should become. Sumana, have a good will towards me. Because last time I left home, he was very upset with me. When I go back this time, make sure that my father is happy. Vita Manyuhu, he has given up all the anger towards me, all the ill feelings toward me. Gautama is the father's name because he is also from the clan of Gautama Rishi. Ma abhimrutyo, towards me, O Lord of death, mrityo, make sure my father is of Shanta Sankalpa and Sumana, as he was Yatha Syat, as he was earlier times with me. And all these anger and frustration towards me should have given away and should have good disposition towards me. That is the first line. Second line, Tvat prasrishtam, after I am freed from you. See the second boon in 1 boon. After I am freed from you, when I go back, let him speak to me. Abhivadet. How pratita, that you are, it is my real son, you should understand. This is not a ghost or a goblin returned from death. Because after you go to death, you cannot come back in the same body. That is the rule. But you have to give me back my body. That is also he is asking to Yama. And such a way that when I go back, my father should receive me, speak to me nicely as his own son, as I was earlier with him. My relation with my father should be restored. Etat trayanam pratamam varam brune. This is the first of the three boons I ask of you. So very, very intelligent boy. Then Yama says, all right. He smiles, looking at the cleverness of this child, that he has asked me that I should release him. He'll go back and then father will be happy with him. All right, he says, Yatha purastad bhavita pratita auddalaki aruni mat prasrishtaha sukham ratri shayita vitamanyuhu tvam dadrishivan mrityumukhat pramuktam. So he is saying, Yatha purastad, as he was earlier, bhavita pratita, after seeing you, he will become the same. In the sense, he'll become happy as he was in the old times before this argument happened. Auddalaki Aruni, his surname is also Auddalaki Aruni because he's from Uddalaka's lineage, or Gurukula Aruni, because Aruni was the original preacher. He taught Uddalaka, and from Uddalaka this person would have learnt, is from that same Guru Gotra. Therefore, he will become happy, remember, understand you, mat prasrishtaha. After I release you, prasrishtaha, I will release you from myself. Then when you go back, your father will become the same way, he'll become happy and he will recognize you. And sukham ratri shaita vitamanyuhu, he will sleep in the nights in peacefully, sukham ratri, because his father must be struggling in his heart of hearts. Arey, what did I do to my only son? I cursed him like this. Is it right on my part? He might not have been sleeping at all with pain and suffering. So he says he will sleep peacefully. Shaita vitamanyuhu. After given up all the anger towards you, he will sleep peacefully. And Tvam, when he sees you, Dadrishivan, when he sees you, that you have come back from Mrityu Mukhat Pramuktam, that you have come out of the jaws of death, Mrityu Mukha. Therefore, when you go back, your father will see you, become very happy towards you, and he will sleep peacefully, since his curse has now been cancelled and his son has come back. With that joy, the father will. That is all. Now, second Vara is asking, 12th sloka. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchan nasti na tatra tvam na jaraya bibheti ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase shokatigo modate swargaloke. This is Nachiketa telling Yama. Slowly is building the background for the second Vara. Swarge loke bhana bhayam kinchan nasti. I have heard in Swargaloka, in heaven, there is no fear. What are the fears that we have? Tapatrayas we have. When we chant Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times, they are to find peace in these 3 ways. There are Tapatraya. Traya means 3. Tapa means difficulties, pain, sufferings are there for every human. What is the first Shanti for? There is Adhyatmika, Tapatraya. Adhyatmika, Tapatraya is what? That is because of our own selves. Because of our sickness, our karmas, or our wrong thinking, misunderstanding, our own reasons. We are the reason for our own sorrow and misery. That is Adhyatmika. Then Adhibhautika. Misery can come because of the nature around us, people around us, like coronavirus is there. That is a misery that has come from outside. Yesterday I was telling, we are so bound as a society. You can complain that I have never eaten a rat, bat, or a cat. Why should I suffer? I am a vegetarian. Nothing doing. You will suffer because you are a part of the society. Adi Bhautika is there. Nature is there around you. Viruses are there. And there are people who eat things and then they spread viruses, careless people. They are also there. So because you are living in a society, Adi Bhautika is there. All this Adi Bhautika will affect you. You cannot escape. So that is the other kind of suffering we go through. Third fear what we have is Adi Daivika. Gods when they are angry with us. We have not done puja properly. We have not done yajnas properly. then gods become angry with us. Like Krishna says about yajnas in Bhagavad Gita, Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavita tair dattan apradabhyebhyo yo bhunkte tena eva saha. Gods give us whatever we want out of love and compassion towards us. Then we do yajna towards them, they give us boons. But when whatever they give us, we don't offer it back to them, then we are equivalent of thieves. Three types: Adi Atmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. These are the three problems we have in life. We will grow old, we will die. That is one problem. I'll fall sick, I will not have money. Because of business will fail, economies are collapsing. All these are pains. So we have a lot of fears in our lives. He says in Swargaloka there is no fear at all, it seems. I've heard that. And then na tatra tvam, Yama is telling Yama, I believe you are also not there in Swargaloka. It means you won't kill people. People don't die in Swargaloka, I've heard. Na jaraya, no old age. You're always young. We have never seen any god except Brahma having a beard and looking old. Because he was really in the beginning, he came to create. All the young to Rama, Krishna, everybody looks young, isn't it? So he says, Swarge loke na jaraya, no old age, bibheti. Nobody fears of old age or nobody fears of death. So you will ask, it means in Swargaloka we don't die. No, we don't die as often as we die on earth. But when we finish our merits, our credit gets over, then we are sent back to earth in another body. If you call it death, you call it death. I will call it a transfer. TC. From Swargaloka back to Arthaloka. Transfer certificate. That's what we get. So we really don't die. In the sense, we don't have a body in which we enjoy Swarga. Therefore, we are just transferred. So there is no old age, no death, and I believe there is no fear whatsoever. Also, what is not there? Ubhe, both are not there. What? Ashanaya, pipase. Hunger and thirst are not there. See, everything is hunger and thirst. Hunger, not just stomach hunger and thirst, but desires are our hunger and thirst. We have all kinds of hungers. I want to be known, seen, acknowledged, appreciated. I must have money. I must have this. I must have position, power. These are some kind of hunger and thirst only. All these things are not there because Ubhe, Tirtva, all these are fulfilled there. Whatever you want is given to you in Swargaloka. That is how Swargaloka was designed, that you enjoy, you don't have fear of any hunger, thirst. It means before you are hungry, food appears to you. Before you are thirsty, water or whatever drinks appear to you. Uninterrupted supply of food and drinks. That is heaven. You never have to suffer there. So this is a very good proposal. That is why Vajashrava is so desperate to go to Swarga. So we can have all these things. Shoka digo, all the sorrows are over in Swarga. Modate Swargaloke. Whoever goes to Swargaloka enjoys, it seems. So he set up the background of what is the next Vara coming. I believe there is something called Swarga where no fear of you or death or old age. There is no hunger and thirst. Every desire is fulfilled and therefore there is no sorrow. And I believe people really enjoy in Swargaloka. This is the background. Then he goes to the asking of the next Vara. He says, Satvam Agnim Swargya Madhyeshi Mrityo Prabruhitvam Shraddha Dhanaya Mahyam Swargaloka Amrutatvam Bhajanta Etadvitiyena Vrune Varena. He says, Sa Tvam Agnim Swargyam Adhyeshi Mrityo. O Mrityo, O Lord of Death, Adhyeshi, you know about it as you are Sa Tvam Adhyeshi. You are aware of that as you are, because you have always seen Swarga, Narka. You are right there before the death, you are there after the death, you are the one who carries Jiva to different lokas. So I'm sure you know about Swarga and all that. So as you already know about this Swarga, you must be knowing about the Agnim. Agnim means that particular fire sacrifice that has to be performed, which will grant us that highest Swarga. You must be aware of that, isn't it? So please tell me about it. Prabruhitvam. Tell me about it. Shraddha Dhanaya Mahyam. I am full of Shraddha. I am sincere. I am earnest to learn from you, and I believe you that you will tell me the right thing, how to go about to reach Swarga. And Swargaloka Amrutatvam Bhajanta. After going to Swargaloka, Amrutatvam means you become immortal and you are enjoying. Bhaja means to not just do bhajana. Nobody does bhajana in Swarga. Bhajanta means to enjoy bhuja from that. So I believe everybody goes to Swargaloka and then enjoy immortality. Immortality means there is no repeated births and deaths like human birth and death. Once the jiva goes there, he stays there for as long as I said, the credit lasts or merit lasts, and then the jiva is simply transferred into another body. So this kind of, yesterday we heard 6 types of transformations that happen in the body. Aste, Jayate, Vardante, Viprinamate, Apakshiyate, Nashyate. These 6 stages of growing and declining does not happen in the Swargaloka. Therefore, Amrutatva, you don't have to worry about dying immediately. But once your merits get over, you are sent back to earth. So I believe that is what happens in Swargaloka. Can you please help me know about that fire sacrifice? Etad dvitiyena vrane varena. This is the second boon I am asking you for. For whose sake is he asking this boon? Can you imagine? He's asking for his father's sake. First one he asked for his own sake. I must go back to my father. Second one is asking for his father's sake. That my father will be very happy if I take back this gift of this knowledge of sacrifice, and I tell him, Father, I have now the idea how to go to the highest of the heavens without any problem. I'll teach you exactly. And whom I have learnt it from? Yama himself, because he knows he is the ultimate authority